we start noticing what's going on, and we start seeing that there really isn't anything that's random or coincidence or an accident. I think when we start to live in the wonder of that, and we ask ourselves, I wonder what that's about, and there's a wonderfulness that is unfolding, that is begging for us to see it. And that to me is what is actually happening in the world right now. That tiny little shift, if enough of us made these tiny shifts, it's going to make such a big difference, because our first way of moving in is from the place of depletion, aggravation, loss, or lack. We first go there because that's part of our survival mechanism to defend and protect ourselves and our stuff. But when we have another awareness come in, something else is available. And the most important thing that we can do right now is to know that there is something else that is available. That's what we must understand. When we start to see it, that there is an unfolding, there's some kind of serendipitous wonderfulness that's unfolding. We start to look out for it, and then we start to interpret what's going on around us in a different way. And that is going to make the difference. The way we interpret this life, the way we react and respond, see it and choose to speak about it, all of that is a very powerful activation, because it brings us to another position in our awareness. It opens up our throat and our heart, and we start to speak in the way of choice, the way of discernment. And that choosing and discerning is the thrust forward. It's an activating energy. It's an ignition of something else that is not the same predictable, reactive kind of way of coming back into life. Try and hear this. It's so ridiculously easy that it almost doesn't become available to us, because we want to think that there's some kind of work or doing or performing, earning our credits, earning our keep. I mustn't waste the time. But imagine if you use this time to activate a part of your awareness, your imagination, your wonderment, and you started to wonder about things and started to look at every story that's coming in and go, hang on a moment. Because I've got time, I'm not just pursuing and doing and showing up, because I'm not hitting deadlines. I have a moment now to reflect, that space that we create to stop and reflect and see what is really going on now. This is the switch that we're waiting to activate in our being. And the moment you find that other space and you start seeing things in a different way, and you start teaching it or speaking about it or noticing it and mentioning it, that gives everyone else an opportunity to come into this life with a different approach. For us not to go, this has to be that, and I'm fed up with that, and we get all angry. We drop the energy in so much static. If we all found a way to be in this moment of life with a different perspective, a different approach, the only way we can do that is if we do it. And the only way that it's going to be different from what it has been, the set model, is if we create a new model. And those of us who are willing to make a tiny tweak, bring it into the world in some way, when we get that there's an orchestration, a constant nudging, tapping on our shoulder saying, hey, notice this. Can you see this? Can you notice this? Could you see it in a different way? It's always around us. Every single thing comes in with this and that, two different reflections. Every single thing. That there's a loss and there's an aggravation, but at the same time, there is something that could be a benefit. There's always these two reflections happening in this dimension, which is the 3D, which we know we're in. And that is the contrast. Contrast begs us to pay attention and notice it. But we don't. We all drop into the, oh dear, and we drop into that lower vibration, and we feel desperate, angry, sad, and we blame, shame, and judge. The spiral runs out. But in that exact same moment, it's like you opened another door that was possible. And these two sit right next to each other, the same story, but the two options of viewing our life and our story and creating from another point of view. It's like you open this book and said, here, look here, which one? You want this page or would you like this page? And this page is the wonder page. I wonder what else could be available. I wonder what might come of this. I wonder what wonderful nudge the universe is giving you so that you can come into a different expression. I wonder what that's about. That activation is so powerful, and it's going to help us to get the information of 3D. There is no reason why we have to be in 3D. It's the most ridiculous vibration. Why do you think you came into such a low vibration? So here's 3D going, hello, this is what I'm offering you to see in 3D. All of humanity who are here in this 3D reality are getting an offering of this and that. What would you choose? How would you like to be in this life? What would you like to activate? Could you possibly think about this in another way, another option? You opened up a space, you opened the book to the other point of view. Right there, that's an activation. The activation is the awakening of our voice, our ability to choose, discern, decide. And that opens up through our heart. And we feel it in our heart. We feel like it's a decent option. And we feel better for having thought of the decent option, not just the normal, I'll smash you in the face option. We feel so much better for finding that higher self in us. And we start to express it. Enough of us start to do that, we create a shift out of the 3D reality that will always bring in pain and recognition of pain and protection, defending, distracting, denying, detaching. It'll always bring that in. 3D is not going to change, but we are. And 3D is never going to be different, but we are, because of 3D, because of the contrast, because of what we're being able to see now. Now we see it, but please let us see it. This is such a beautiful teaching moment, an opportunity to lift an energy frequency, to lift a new option into what is possible. That lift, that other option, that's something else, is the elevation of an energy into a 5D. And that's what we're trying to do for humanity. We're trying to lift humanity into a higher vibrational field so we stop killing each other and our planet. Very important that we do this because we haven't got much time. There's too much hate and anger and awfulness in the world. If we don't activate the energy of life is so beautiful, the space that I'm in and creating, that didn't just happen. You made it happen. You created it. You're sitting in it and you're enjoying it. That's an activation. It brings in a different code into the story, a different signal. I keep hearing there's no more time for going back. There's no more time. In the quantum field, there's a deep inner knowing that I don't have to go through a process to do it. That is the way we've got to train ourselves to access information. It's already there and we already know how to do it. Our human slows everything down into a much lower 3D vibration. I must do, achieve, accomplish, and check it off. And that gives our human a lot of satisfaction. Open it into your capacity to learn and access data through a quantum connection, a higher awareness, intuition through your dream time, that it would come in, be with it and take a breath in and say, There's the title and there's the information, and all information is valid and it's in the field already. It's been spoken into the field. The person has typed it out. They've written it up. They've sent it into the ethers. It's come to my computer. It's traveled. It's already available. And then you ask your being, your higher functioning being, now access it. Access it in the way that truly matches my being, that gives me all the benefits that would be appropriate for me at this time. And always say at this time. That's one of your key phrases to bring in, because we are recalibrating all the time. So when we say, I bring towards me all that which is for my most divine, most sacred life journey, and only that I can be with now at this time, or that I can assimilate now at this time, which means you leave the door open for all the possibilities. I had someone say to me, they are simply overwhelmed. There's too much information. I had this incredible blast that came in with that. I thought, I don't want to overwhelm anybody. That's not my plan. Everything that has been sent to them as a resource, the moment I send it, I'm connecting like a spider web to every other soul who's on those lists. And there's a lot of people on my list. So I send it out. And as I send it out, there's an intention for that message to connect with that dear soul. It's like a light energy thread, if you can imagine it like that, like a little spider web that gets radiated out into the field. And if they open it or never open it, that connection has come into their little device, in their house, in their space, and they can access it if they want to, but they really don't have to even open it up, because that information has moved through our transmitting systems, through the quantum field, into the energy fields, and it's already connected to the intention of sending this out to people who are ready to receive. But they don't have to receive as the human now and scroll and click and do. You can if you want to entertain yourself, but you don't have to. And that to me is where we better get fast. Don't slow the process down, because then we're putting it in the mud. We're not putting it in quantum, we're putting it in mud. It's so slow, it just takes forever. Speed it up, activate it. It's a quantum connection that elevates our awareness. Every time we allow ourselves to switch or connect to something different becomes available. And that's the magic that we start to create. No suffering, or please just throw away the idea and all the stories that go around with suffering and survival, hardship and enduring. We've got to really monitor those frequencies, because they plummet our energy right away. If you can help others get that too, it'll be wonderful. And when we drop into energy, which of course we're going to, every now and again, we're going to drop there, because we've been doing it for thousands of years as a species. We know how to do that one really well. But if we catch ourselves in the moment and go, I wonder what made me drop into that, or I wonder what that's about, or I wonder if that's my finest moment, or I wonder if I could possibly see it in another way. And acknowledge where we are. Acknowledge that we are not in a place that is our highest frequency, because the moment you've acknowledged it, it's no longer in disguise. It's no longer a program that's running us. It's us being aware that there is a program, and we're not being pulled and sucked into the endless downward vortex of it. It's that awareness, and you'd be aware. I wonder what that's about. I wonder what's going on here. And then kind to you, say, oh, look at that. Dropped into that hole for a moment. And then you go, okay, Then I dropped in there. That's my precious human, my instinctive, reactive human. And we love this gorgeous part of us. And we comfort it and adore it. We don't shame it and blame it and judge it. We just love it. And then we shift and we say, well, what else could there be that I haven't seen? What other possibility could there be? And then we go into another space. We don't necessarily know how to do it any better, but we just wonder how we might. That's the bridge. We're going into a place that is beyond what we can fathom as our adorable human, but we know it already. It's not unknown to us, and that's why we have always stood on the outside of the norm and felt like there was more to life and there should be more, and that life needs to be more gentle, loving, kind, and gracious. All the ones who know that this story is not the story and we're not happy with it, these are the light beings. Find them, hold their hearts, connect with them, help them to see.